In this video, we discuss 7 important things you can now do at age 62, and only one of them is access Social Security. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Turning 62 is a milestone. It's the age where retirement starts to become real. For some, age 62 is exhilarating. It's the age where they can finally start to consider getting away from the job that they didn't like so much. For others, it's terrifying because they don't know what's ahead and they're not sure if they're ready emotionally, financially, or other when it comes to the next stage of their life. I was discussing this very topic with a graduate of my course, Social Security Simplified, and he said he circled his calendar for age 62 like a finish line. But when he got there, he wasn't sure what came next. He had choices, but he wasn't sure which ones made sense and which ones didn't make sense, and in what order to execute those choices. This isn't uncommon, by the way, because as people reach age 62, they're looking backwards in the rearview mirror, not looking forward to what's ahead, almost always. Not 100%, but a lot of the time, they're not looking forward. They're running away from a bad situation often. The reality is age 62 isn't just about Social Security. Far from it. It is an age that unlocks a whole host of opportunities. And if you know what they are, you can make the most of the year and the years ahead. Now, let me make just a quick comment about the 7 points we're going to go through. Everybody's retirement is different. Everybody's economic situation is different. Everybody's family situation is different. And some of these items, while you may not agree with them for yourself, they do make sense for other people. So, with that being said, why don't we jump into the list? The first milestone is reverse mortgage eligibility. In particular, I'm talking about the home equity conversion mortgage, or HECM. At age 62, you can tap into your home equity without making payments. This makes it very different than a standard home equity line of credit or a mortgage where you have to make monthly payments. You still need to maintain your home, pay your insurance, pay your taxes, but you don't need to make a monthly payment on your HECM. Here's how it works. The loan is paid when you move out, sell your home, or you pass away, depending on the situation. At that time, the house is sold and accrued interest and principal is paid back to the lender. Because the loan is insured by the FHA, it's considered one of the safest and most common types of reverse mortgages. The amount that you can borrow is dependent on your age, the value of your home, and interest rates at the time. There are 3 ways to access the funds. The first is a lump sum payment. You take it all at one time. It usually has a fixed interest rate. And you take that money and you do something with it. Oftentimes people will put it into some form of riskless or low risk investment. The second way is through a credit line where you take only what you need and you pay interest only on what you draw down from your credit line. The third is predictable, consistent monthly payouts. You have the same amount coming to you every single month and you know what that payment is going to be. Oftentimes, this is combined with a credit line so that you have some level of flexibility in case you need additional income for things like home repairs. Many retirees use an HECM as a backup in case there's an emergency. Others use it to supplement their income to improve their retirement lifestyle. Now, a reverse mortgage isn't for a lot of people, frankly, but knowing that it's available at age 62 gives you additional options if you need a reverse mortgage. Number 2 is private and employer pensions. Now, many pensions, in fact, most pensions start at age 65, but some of them give you the option to draw early, but you do take a haircut on the payment on your pension. How much is the discount? Well, it depends on the employer and the structure of the pension, but typically it's between 4 and 7%. So if you draw it at age 62 instead of age 65, you're taking a 12 to 21% reduction in your pension payment. Also, there are nuances. Some employers offer what's called a Social Security leveling option, where you start drawing your payment at, say, age 62 until you claim Social Security, at which point it goes down. This allows you to smooth your income in the years ahead. Survivor benefits are another big decision when it comes to a pension. There are options within a pension, many pensions anyway, called a joint and survivor option, which means that you protect your spouse in the event that you were to pass early. And if your employer offers retiree health insurance, note that a lot of health insurance requires you to start drawing on your pension before you actually can claim the health insurance. Pensions are typically defined benefit plans, meaning that you know what your payment's going to be from the beginning. You don't have to guess at it. It doesn't go up and down with the markets. A lot of that depends on your income when you were working, how much you contributed or how much your employer contributed, market assumptions, and a whole host of other information. But defined benefit plans means that the payment is defined. And one last point on this, your pension is typically taxable as ordinary income unless you take your pension and you roll it into an IRA. But most of the time, if you're taking periodic payments, you're going to be paying taxes on it. Point number 3, Social Security. This is the point that most people think about when they think about age 62. Age 62 is the earliest age someone can start drawing on their Social Security retirement benefits. Now, how much can they draw? Well, if they reach full retirement age at age 67, which is a lot of people watching this video, then they can draw up to 70% of their full retirement age benefit at age 62. And spousal benefits are reduced even further. At age 62, there's 65% of the full spousal benefit. And the spouse needs to wait for the primary insured to draw first before he or she can draw their own Social Security benefit. And as I always say, Social Security is both cash flow and insurance in retirement. And sometimes waiting is the right choice depending on your individual circumstances. Gang, Social Security can be very confusing. The reason is simple. It's 90 years old this month, frankly. And over the last 90 years, there have been a lot of changes that have been added to or taken away from Social Security. So your parents' Social Security isn't your Social Security. There's also a lot of bad information out there that's trying to get your click. So if you're overwhelmed or confused, don't just do what a friend or family member does because their situation isn't yours. I just released a course called Social Security Simplified to help you make sense of a very complicated subject. Since it's brand new, I'm offering a 50% discount for the month of August. If this is of interest to you, go to hollyschmidt.com/social security to learn more about the course Social Security Simplified. Point number 4, retiree discounts. Now this one's a bit lighter, but it's impactful if you know how to bring all of your discounts together at age 62. Airlines will often give 10 to 15% off airfare if the person's flying off peak. Now, it's a legitimate 10 to 15%, so the person sitting next to you who's not 62 will pay the higher price, but usually it's only available during non-peak travel times. Hotels will also provide discounts. Some will only provide discounts during slow seasons, but many will provide discounts year-round. Memberships in organizations such as ARP and AMAC provide discounts starting as early as age 50, but a lot of them only become available at age 62. And one of my favorite discounts, the America the Beautiful Park Pass, access to over 2,000 parks. At age 62, it's $20 per year or $80 for a lifetime membership. And depending on where you live, states and cities offer the best discounts on things like public transportation, parks, museums, restaurants, depending on what's available in your city. Each of these may seem small on their own, but added together, they can have a substantial impact on your quality of life. Point 5, property tax breaks. Many states and municipalities offer property tax breaks for those people who are 62 and older. The reason is simple, because most people at that age don't have children in the school system, and that's a big user of property taxes. Some municipalities do this because they don't want to be the bad guy and force retirees out of their home. A lot of times the homes are fully paid off and property taxes are very difficult. And so homes have actually gone into foreclosure, not based on a missing mortgage payment, but missing taxes. Point number 6, access to special housing in retirement communities. At age 62, you qualify to access certain communities that you can't access at any other age, not even 55. Under the Housing for Older Persons Act, 62 plus communities are fully legal and they only allow residents who are 62 plus. And just to be really clear on this point, there are over 2,000 communities in the United States dedicated to people 55 and above, and a lot of those are 62 and above. And for many retirees, right-sizing into a 62 plus community offers predictability, community, and peace of mind. Point number 7, annuity income streams. Many annuities are designed to start paying out at age 62. Why age 62, not 65 or 59 and a half? Well, they're all available, but 62 is one of the most common because it aligns nicely with Social Security, and it's a pretty common age to start retirement. And just getting into the technical side a bit, it's actuarially sustainable. Insurance companies can predict if you add a lot of 62-year-olds together in a pool, what the likely outcome is going to be so they don't lose money. And there are a lot of options when it comes to an annuity. One is that you put the money in today and you start drawing immediately a series of payments over your remaining life. Another is a deferred annuity where you put the money in either at a point in time or over a period of time. And in the future, when you reach 62, for example, that's when the payments start. And to be super clear, not everybody should buy an annuity. I can think of a lot of reasons why someone shouldn't buy an annuity, but it makes sense for some people. And at age 62, the market's wide open. Age 62 is your launch pad. It's the earliest you can claim Social Security, but it's also the moment pensions, annuities, discounts, housing, and tax breaks begin to appear. Too many people focus just on Social Security but miss the other opportunities. So what can you do? Well, first, this isn't an all-inclusive list. There are other benefits that unlock at age 62. These are the ones that seem to be the most common, but make a list of the benefits that unlock for you at age 62 just so you know what the options are ahead. Next, don't rush any decisions. Social Security and pensions, these are permanent. So once you make a decision, with rare exception, once you start drawing from either, you need to continue to draw for the rest of your life. And take advantage of easy wins like tax breaks and discounts because those don't hurt you if you start taking them as early as possible. At age 62, there isn't one door that opens and you make a choice, all or nothing. There are a lot of doors that you can open, but you don't have to. And this point, by the way, is one of the big points we cover in my course, Social Security Simplified. In fact, we cover a lot of complicated issues in that course, but this is one of the big ones that we cover. And as a reminder, because this course is brand new, we're offering 50% off during the month of August, but you need to move fast. Go to holyschmidt.com/Social Security to learn more about the course, Social Security Simplified.